Uganda, na etumaya, konimana mizema, tambola na solo. Tele makala Mungu na baraka, Yesu zale peli de nebisi, tukubala, mokote kote, tokobasa mobele, mokonzi na biso, tokotosa.
My family has always enjoyed singing together. Growing up, every single night in our backyard, there were church choir rehearsals going on. One time when they put on a program, the head of all the Protestant churches in the whole country was in attendance. He knew my dad, and after the whole thing was done, he sees him and he says, "Hey, come here. Have you ever thought about going to school in Europe and studying?" My dad says, "I don't know how to do that." He replied, "Come and see me." And my dad went and saw him, and that escalated and got him and my mom scholarships to go to Switzerland. I was about 7 years old. You can guess the rest of the story. My family met full-time missionaries, Elder Clement and Elder Carl, who answered questions about God my parents had had all their lives. The story of the first vision made sense, and the warm welcome they received from Brother Staffler and the Swiss members touched their hearts.
Ça, c'est le livre de Mormon que Frère Staffler nous avait donné. Oui, il a fait même dédicace pour notre famille. Je vous dis sans embâche que le verset clé qui nous a fait retenir dans l'Église, c'est quand nous avons lu 2 Néphi, chapitre 26, verset 33. Mais quand les gens viennent, ils laissent tomber cette iniquité, ils les reçoivent. Noirs, blancs, hommes ou femmes, juifs ou gentils. Ils sont tous pareils pour Dieu. C'était même beau à entendre, beau à comprendre aussi. Alors, j'ai convaincu ma femme, j'ai dit, voilà, ce passage qui doit nous retenir.
My parents knew that if they were baptized, the scholarships will be canceled. But they were baptized anyway on October 2nd, 1979. I also wanted to be baptized as soon as possible, but the missionaries said I should wait till my father received the priesthood so he could baptize me himself. Friends told my mom and dad they could help them find a way to stay in the country. When my parents' sponsors told the police that we should be expelled, the police said, "They haven't stolen anything. They're happy here. This is your problem. We don't see why you want to send them away so badly."
Ils ont dit non, on ne vous supporte pas. Ils nous ont obligés de rentrer au Congo. Alors on devait brutalement rentrer au Congo. Et au milieu d'une année scolaire. Vous voyez? C'est quelque chose de terrible, non? Et nous sommes rentrés comme ça, ne sachant pas quoi faire. C'était triste. C'était vraiment triste. Mais quoi faire maintenant? On ne va pas faire autrement.
My brother Phil and I were enrolled in a very good private school in Switzerland, and the teachers pleaded with our parents not to go back to Africa. The missionaries loved us and told my parents the church didn't exist in the Congo. They thought that if we went back, no one would ever hear from us again. Times were hard in Kinshasa and my parents had no work. But for some reason, they felt they should return. My father told the missionaries, "Don't worry, my brothers. We will be just fine. We'll find the church there." Meanwhile, in Belgium, a young man from the DR Congo met the missionaries. His name was Dieudonné Kitabungi Mbui. It was not an easy choice to be baptized, but the Lord confirmed his decision.
When I returned home after the baptism, I lay down on the sofa I felt something unusual. It felt like oil was being poured over my head and gradually descending until it reached my toes. It was so sweet. I stayed calm for a long time, enjoying the feeling. I know it was the Holy Spirit confirming to me the truthfulness of the church and the good decision I had made to be baptized.
Less than 2 years after his baptism, Brother Mbuyi became the first known native Congolese member to serve a full-time mission and receive temple blessings. On May 1st, 1982, he was accompanied to the London Temple by his companion in the England Birmingham mission, Elder Ian Day of Yorkshire.
In 1981, President H of the Belgian Brussels mission had planted a seed in my heart about establishing the church in Zaire. Later, during a visit of Elder Neil A. Maxwell to my mission in 1982, I felt impressed to tear a page out of my agenda and write to Elder Maxwell. This is my message. I come from Zaire in Africa. My country needs the Church of Jesus Christ. In reply from President Carlos E.C. of the International Mission, I was told, your desires and concerns are righteous and good. We have been exploring for some time launching work in Zaire. However, to this date, the brethren have not selected to initiate activity there. Hopefully soon such activity will be authorized, but I heard nothing more. After my mission, visa problems forced an unexpected and permanent return to Zaire, but I knew the Lord had sent me for a reason. I had a heartfelt desire to build Zion in the heart of Zaire. In 1985, I wrote to church headquarters. I've got something that has been weighing on me for the last 12 days. It is the burning and warm feelings I felt for a long period of time in my chest.
Brother Mbuyi's feelings were prophetic. Elder John K. Carmack wrote back saying, those feelings that you have of a burning in your chest are feelings that the Lord only could reveal to you. Keep praying for understanding. It may be a signal that the church is about to become established in your area. 2 church families who worked for the U.S. Embassy, first the Larsons and then the Bocats, arrived in the country. And Oscar McConkey's legal efforts on behalf of the church to secure official government recognition began to bear fruit. Finally, the 12th of February 1986, the president of Zaire verbally approved recognition of the church. But there was one additional requirement. The signatures of 3 Congolese members of the church were required by law. Nkitabungi Mbuyi and my parents, who had all come back to Zaire unexpectedly with trust in the Lord's promptings, were the 3 Congolese members who signed the documents. With them were Brother David Kennedy, Brother and Sister Oscar and Judith McConkey, and Brother and Sister Bay and Jane Hutchins, church representatives, and later the first mission leaders in Zaire. After years of waiting, Phil and I could be taught the missionary discussions. And on June 1st, 1986, Phil and I were baptized in the swimming pool of the Bocat family. This was the very first baptism in Zaire. On August 30th, 1987, Elder Marvin J. Ashton, a member of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles, dedicated Zaire for the preaching of the gospel. With Elder Ashton were Elder Alexander B. Morrison, a member of the First Quorum of the 70s, the mission leaders, President and Sister Hutchins, 2 senior missionary couples, and leaders of the Limete and Biza branches with their families. The prayer was held in the garden area of the Bocat home, the same place we had been baptized a year before. Elder Morrison opened the meeting.
My dear brothers and sisters, this is a grand and glorious and sacred occasion as we meet together this morning under the sheltering and protecting canopy of this tree in this gentle garden to do the Lord's business in this great land. We gather here today under the direction and the authority of an apostle of Jesus Christ. We meet this morning in near obscurity, in the very infancy of the church in Zaire, little noticed by the world, but perfectly secure in the knowledge of who we are and of whose business we are on. We are here on the Lord's errand. This action ushers in a new era for the church here in Zaire. It is the dawning of a new day, a day whose beneficent influence will long be felt, whose influence will transcend the normal boundaries of time and will be felt in this country until the very end of time. We who are mortal see countries and borders, we see peoples and tribes, but he who sees all and who knows all sees only one people, his children.
I know that it was the hand of the Lord that brought us all back to Kinshasa. Our sorrows were turned into joy. And that same divine hand would now open a new chapter of growth and happiness for many thousands of others.
Nous chantons la victoire d'un peuple racheté. Nous vivons dans la paix. Nous sommes sans souci. Nous aimerons travailler pour Jésus. Jusqu'au bout des efforts, nous aimerons travailler pour Jésus. Jusqu'au bout des efforts. Nakumanya wimpe Bwanza mimufuki wanyine wabitu byonso wakandombola mumalu onso wimpe makole nedisaka nemulonde bwatu yanende wewe mufuki mwenzeji wa maludi kupesha butumbi bwebenza pi banifuluka madu awakenzeza kukale kalene